For somebody who was told by Simon Cowell that she didn't have it, I'd say she got the last laugh.
We've got some box office. We've got some J-HUD EGOT news.
Woo!
But first, our movie house shout out of the week is a really cool place called the Grail Moviehouse in Asheville, North Carolina. They were in downtown Asheville for several years. And then the pandemic hit and their lease ran out, and they are now in the middle of building out this really cool space in like an industrial, funky, artsy area of Asheville, the River Arts District, where there's like warehouses of galleries and a brewery and a barbecue place. And so the Grail Moviehouse is now part of that whole scene. They are building out to 3 screens now. They've got 1. They are playing things like Cha-Cha Real Smooth this weekend. They do documentaries and indies. In a couple of weeks, they're doing this cat video fest. Have you heard of this?
I think I have, yes.
Oscilloscope every year does this thing that several art house theaters take part in. The folks at the Grand Cinema in Tacoma are doing it as well. And it's like literally 70 minutes of cat videos. People dress up like cats or they bring cats. And then every theater that does this, the Grail included, teams up with a local cat rescue to raise money for them. So they're just a really cool, interesting place. And I'm so thrilled that some of our viewers mentioned it. So check them out. The Grail Moviehouse in Asheville, North Carolina, a little artsy hub in the middle of North Carolina. We'll have a link to them down below if you want to find out more about all of their cool programming. So
find the Grail.
Right. So, and kitty cats. What more do you need?
They jellicle though.
If only, right? Well, that brings us to J-HUD.
Yes.
Eventually, we'll get to her, but we got to do box office first.
Okay.
Which is, so Jurassic World Dominion came out, and the fact that it's like 30% on the tomato meter does not matter to anybody apparently, because it had a giant
came to see dinosaurs.
I guess, and there are so many dinosaurs in the new Jurassic World, as we know. It made $143 million domestically. It's made $389 million globally. It knocked Top Gun Maverick out of the top spot in the box office. So.
Yeah, according to the wrap, between those 2 sequels, we may be looking at a $1 billion June at the box office. So,
wow.
I guess everything's back. I don't know.
Movie theaters are back, baby. Jennifer Hudson is now an EGOT.
Yes.
She won a Tony over the weekend as a producer on the Best New Musical winner called A Strange Loop.
Yes. She's only the 17th person apparently to be so honored. So well done. For somebody who was told by Simon Cowell that she didn't have it, I'd say she got the last laugh. She even got to this before Lin-Manuel Miranda. So
yeah, and she's only the 2nd Black woman to do it. Whoopi Goldberg,
right? Yes.
Lightyear is out this weekend. We're going to have a review of it, maybe as soon as tomorrow. Or Thursday. Anyway, it's coming out this week. Lightyear, we've both seen it. And it will not be playing, however, in Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates or Kuwait, places like that, because it contains a lesbian kiss.
Yes, for whatever my issues are with this movie, and we'll talk about it when we talk about it. This is a queer character who can't just be dubbed into oblivion. Like there's the character voiced by Uzo Aduba is doesn't merely talk about this stuff, but she has a same-sex partner. They get married, they raise children and grandchildren together. So it's an essential part of the plot. So good on them. And yes, they are going to be losing some markets in the Middle East. And I think China is sort of being a pill about it. But I appreciate Disney putting their money where their mouth is, because very often we get this like characters where there's like one line and then that line disappears in Russian and then it's like it never happened. So, good on them.
The Handmaid's Tale is coming out, season 5. We will definitely be talking about that on our Patreon. So if you are not already part of our Patreon, please come and find us, because we'll talk about Handmaid's Tale for sure. Elisabeth Moss posted about this on Instagram. Apparently she has directed the first 2 episodes.
Oh, cool. Good for her.
Yes. I remember that she made some really interesting choices in the ones that she directed in this most previous season. So September 14th.
Nice. Can't wait.
that comes out. Sarah Polley, someone else whose work we enjoy as a director, she has a book out in which she talks. There, you have it right in front of you. It's called Run Towards the Danger. What is the big revelation in this, Alonso?
I have not read it yet. It is it's a collection of essays that she started working on after a fire extinguisher fell on her head and she suffered massive head trauma. And so she was sort of working through various, memories of her life. And her therapist said to sort of start with the scariest ones first, and that was sort of if that's the effective way to sort of get her memory back. Anyway, so she wrote an essay that was excerpted this week on The Guardian, and it's basically about how she was traumatized working on Adventures of Baron Munchausen as a young child. It was not a safe set. It was not a monitored set. And so like explosions were going off very close to her, and she was in cold water, and there were a lot of moments where felt like she was in genuine danger, and there was nothing that anybody could do about it. And then later in life, she sort of, begins this email correspondence with Terry Gilliam because a woman had approached her about this other woman's daughter being in a new Gilliam movie, and it kind of dredged up these memories about it. And Gilliam is sort of kind of dismissive about the way that she remembers it. And it's not until Eric Idle steps up and says, no, that was a genuinely dangerous set. We were all placed into peril, and it was, badly organized, that she was able to sort of work through this trauma that had happened to her as a young child of being in genuine danger making this movie and being told that her concerns were not important.
Yeah. We'll be sure to link to that below if you want to read her. We are big fans of Sarah Polley around here. Philip Baker Hall died at age 90. This is very sad. A legendary character actor. I think probably folks know him best from his work with Paul Thomas Anderson, but also The Insider. He was great in that.
His big breakthrough role was the one-man show, basically, of Robert Altman's Secret Honor, in which Hall played Richard Nixon, late in life, disgraced, drunk, and sort of, going through his own memories and justifications. It's a powerhouse performance. It's currently streaming on the Criterion Channel. If you've never seen Secret Honor, I highly recommend it. But yeah, I wrote up an appreciation for Hall at the Wrap, and I mean, he really was. He brought that same sense of gravitas even to like comedy, and that made him such a great foil, whether he's like the library detective on Seinfeld or in a movie like Die Mommy Die, like he just brings a lot to it and did a ton of stuff. So it's like, as much as, we all know the Paul Thomas Anderson and some of the highlights, like I think he's the kind of actor where you can look back and he's like, oh, I forgot he was in that, or I need to check that out. Like he was really great on a show called Pasadena. Do you remember this show that Mike White created? It was a nighttime soap about like Southern California, old money chicanery. He was really great in that. He was an amazing performer.
And just that face. What a fantastic face he had, like a great character actor face. And whenever he showed up, you're like, this is going to be immediately better. Because Philip Baker Hall is in it. And then we have some really extremely sad news we want to share about a longtime listener, longtime viewer and friend of the show, Geoff Swanson. We learned from his parents that he died unexpectedly last week at age 34, which is just shocking and devastating. And he contributed a lot of the marquee photos for the Parkway and the Riverview theaters in Minneapolis, where he lived. He was from North Dakota originally, loved movies, loved James Bond films and Hitchcock films. He would do an Oscar pool every year with his friends and then take the money that everyone chipped in and like give it to charity. Just a really lovely guy, and would quite frequently comment on stuff around here and on Twitter. And it's just a very, very sad loss. And so we feel like we've lost a friend too. So very sad, and our hearts go out to Geoff's mom and dad and his family and his friends out there. So thank you, Geoff, for all your contributions.